Good morning, all. Welcome back. Today I'm going to start with a quote from Joy Bell. You will find that it is necessary to let things go, simply for the reason that they are heavy. Now, my name is Christopher Howell, and this is my Resolute Path. 15 years ago, roughly, I met a beautiful young woman. I can still remember exactly what she was wearing that day. The way she carried herself, the way she laughed. I was instantly smitten, completely and absolutely. I was undeniably drawn to her. But it didn't take long for me to realize that I just wasn't her type. At least not in the way I wanted to be. But we had so much in common. Motorcycles, gaming. We had late night conversations about life. So I made the choice. I put my feelings aside, and I made her happiness a priority. In return, I gained one of the best friendships I have ever known. Over the next decade, we both grew in different ways. We were there for each other through different relationships, breakups, and life changes. She got married, moved away. She had two beautiful young daughters, and yet through all of it, we stayed connected. Then in late 2019, everything changed. I was in a horrific car accident. One moment I was on the road, and the next I was waking up after nearly a week of unconsciousness. When I finally opened my eyes, there she was. This woman that I had loved, this friend who had meant so much to me. She was holding my hand. I can't even put into words what that meant to me. Now, through my recovery, she visited when she could, but her life was very complicated. Her marriage was struggling, and as I worked to regain my strength, she was trying to figure out her next steps as well. Now, eventually, her marriage fell apart, and at about the same time I was still recovering, but getting out of the hospital, we both needed support, and so she and her daughters moved in with me. Now, at first, it was just teamwork, two friends helping each other through difficult times. She helped me regain my independence, and I helped her with the kids. I read them stories, I put them to sleep, changed their diapers, helped with meals. For 6 months, we were this unconventional little family, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I had real purpose beyond just existing. Then something shifted. One night, in just this moment of raw vulnerability, I completely broke down. I laid everything out. The love I had carried for her for years, the belief that we could have something real, something lasting. Now, I had seen the worst of her relationships. I knew her patterns. I knew the mistakes she had made. But I believed that she had changed, that motherhood had transformed her, that she had left something behind, like the gaslighting, the manipulation, the self-destructive behaviors. And for a while, it really felt like everything was right. Now, for another 6 months, we were happy. We planned a future together, planned on buying a home out in the countryside, and a fresh start for just us. She told me that the father of her children was out of the picture. She told me about the terrible things he had done to her, the lies, the abuse, the control. She told me I was her future, and that she had never been loved the way I loved her. I really did believe her. I had no reason not to. But people have reasons they don't always share. Now, she started following the teachings of a religious zealot, in fact, her ex-husband's best friend. Now, this woman was persuasive, dominant, controlling, in a way I'd never really seen before. And suddenly my fiance was being pulled in a direction I didn't understand. And then came the ultimatum. She decided she was moving. She was taking the kids, and she was going back to the man she had sworn she would never return to. And I had two choices: follow her or lose her forever. Now, obviously, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And just like that, the woman I had built a life with, the woman I had nursed my broken body and heart for, jumped straight from my bed back into her ex-husband's. The same man she had accused of abuse, of cruelty, of violating her trust in every imaginable way, he was a better option than me. That broke something deep inside of me. Now, that was almost 4 years ago. In that time, she remarried twice. Married the ex-husband, got a divorce, and then married again. She's gone through multiple relationships while I have stayed single. I told myself I was healing, that I was better off, and in many ways I am. But I won't lie to you. There are days, even now, when I wonder. I miss the kids. More than anything, I miss them. The nights spent reading stories, tucking them in, hearing them call me Daddy Chris. Even though they knew that I wasn't their daddy. Would I ever be able to trust a single mom again? How many women my age don't have children? And if they do, would I ever let myself love them the same way, knowing they could just as easily be taken away from me? Now, I got a vasectomy because I knew I couldn't start fresh with a baby at my age, not with all my disabilities. And yet here I am, wondering if I'll ever have a family again. Now, am I destined to die alone? And is that really all that bad? On some days, I think maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing. I've learned to be content with my own company. But other days I remember that I still have love to give, that I want to give it. But how do I trust again? How do I let someone in when I know what the worst of love feels like? How do I risk that kind of heartbreak again? Now, I don't have the answers yet. Maybe I never will. But what I do know is this: I am still standing, and that counts for something. Now, Nicholas Sparks once said, "The emotion that can break your heart is sometimes the very one that heals it." Now, if you've ever felt the way I felt, if you've ever wondered whether you can love again after loss, after betrayal, just know that you're not alone. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your insights, your own stories. Drop a comment below, because I know I'm not the only one wrestling with this. Now, if you stuck it out this far, thank you, really. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you'll know when my next episode drops. I love you all, and as always, keep it shiny.